Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to my Florida drive-by. It's Wednesday and it's April 6, 2016. I'm in Sarasota, Florida. It's about 73 degrees. I hope everybody's healthy, wealthy, and wise. I'm on, what is this? Fruitville Road. I'm going to get in onto US 301 North Washington. I'm heading to Longboat Key, Florida. And I'll have some videos when I get there. But I hope everybody's doing good. And with that, I want to start my drive-by. And I guess today we're going to be talking about 1911s again. You know, myself, I never had a 1911. I really never liked them. But once I got my first 1911, it's like they're so cool. You know what I mean? I just like them. It's just the way it is. I like 1911s now. Before I never liked them, but once I got them, then you kind of get hooked on them. And I had a lot of 1911s, and oh god, you know, I spent so much money on guns. It was ridiculous. But then at the time there I got sick, so I had to sell like just about all of them. And so slowly recovering from them. I did just buy my Nighthawk Custom about 6 months ago. That was right from Nighthawk. H&K, got my Glock, a few other guns, and I'd like to get a Wilson Combat. Actually, I'm in the process now of getting one. I know a guy that's got one. It's going to be a nice, pretty big outlay of cash. Not real lot, but I have to sell a gun. So, I'll sell one of my guns, and if it's a gun I can redo or something I'm okay with, and I'm not, I like, but I don't like it to the extent where, I like the Wilson Combat better. I think what I'm going to do is I'd like to have 4 nice 1911s. I had a lot of them, and I got rid of a lot of them, so what I'm going to do is try to focus on have a Nighthawk, a Wilson Combat, a Ed Brown, and a Les Bear. Les Bear, that's what they call it. So if I have those 4, I think I have 4 of the, pretty much the, I guess you'd call it maybe top 4. Maybe not, exactly, but the top 4. But that brings us into another thing, into higher-end 1911s, money-wise. Are they, worth what you're going to pay if you get a high-end 1911? It depends really on you. Yeah, I guess they are. And also, like I say, it depends on you. Some people like them. Some people don't like them. Some people, think they're just as good as any other 1911, but that's like a preferential thing. Is a high-end microscope better than a low-end microscope? They probably both do the job, but the high-end microscope probably has a little bit better optics, a little bit better metal, maybe more features and stuff like that on it. So you have to look at it that way. So same thing with the high-end gun. Is a high-end gun better? Well, it's probably going to have a little bit more options on it. It'll probably have a little better features, and those features and options that it have might be a little bit better made. So, you have to weigh that. And for an individual shooter, is that something that's beneficial for them? Is that something that they would like? And now I got to cut over to this over here. Yeah, this is Sarasota, and it's pretty big here. My GPS is taking me a roundabout way to go where I gotta go, but I guess you see some of the scenery. It's just like, I had a Wilson Combat, and I had it for a period of time, but then I just didn't really care for the gun, so I sold it. And the Wilson Combat's nice. The Wilson Combat was a 45. And it had all fancy thing, gold bead dot front and carry cuts and polished flats, and it was 45 ACP. Really, really nice gun, but there was one thing I didn't like about the gun. It wasn't a bobtail. And myself, I like the way bobtail guns look. So when I would go out and shoot it, to me it looked a little howdy-doody-ish is what I say, because you ever have the gun that like it looks off balanced, and that's what it was. And I'll give you an example why. Because the frame was a professional full-size frame, but the slide was a short slide, like 4.25 inches with short barrel. So the magwell area, where you hold it, looked longer, and it just looked odd. You know what I mean? Granted, I think it held 8 rounds. It was a Wilson Combat. It was really pretty. It was all dressed up. It was nice, but it just was not. It just didn't look right. So, and I'm going to be turning over here now on Bayfront Drive. North Gulfstream Avenue. But anyway, this will take us over to some of the keys here. I'm going to put the air conditioning on because it is hot. It's pretty hot here. You might hear that in the tape. But so I got rid of it because it wasn't a bobtail. And that kind of takes super grades out of the picture for me, because they don't make any super grades with bobtails anymore. They stopped making them. And I just like bobtail guns. And I happened to see a bobtail, a Nighthawk. Well, I knew they made them, so I had one ordered, and I got the Bob Marvel, a Nighthawk custom bobtail, and I got it exactly the way I wanted. Got the polished flats. I got a lot of stuff done to it. It was pretty much the way I wanted it, and ordered it. And it's in mint shape. Fired it a few times. Great gun. And that was the Bob Marvel Nighthawk. So basically, kind of got it built the way I wanted it built. So the next gun I wanted to get was the Wilson Combat, but I cannot find a super grade in the bobtail. Now there might be some floating around somewhere, but everything I've seen is a professional. But I did find a guy had a professional. It wasn't a super grade, but the big difference between the super grades and a regular gun, like a professional or whatever, is the super grades are only built by certain gunsmiths. So I guess really, really experienced, 20 years experience, certain class of, let this guy go, come on, certain class of, go, come on, certain class of gunsmiths build them. And so, I guess it's a higher quality, but it's a same quality parts, it's just, somebody with more experience builds them. And whether that's good or bad, I don't know if I don't even know if it's worth that extra money you're spending, because it's the same gun, it's just somebody else built it. So, but, I did find a Wilson Combat bobtail, and it was stainless, right? It was a bead-basted stainless finish, had a recessed slide stop, and it had a bunch of crowning and flush fit, and a lot of different, about 9 or 10 options on the gun. It was a bobtailed, and 45 ACP, gold bead dot front sight, ribbing on top of the slide. So the gun had a lot of different features that the higher end ones have. And if you would have to buy that gun at the time, it'd probably be about $3,900. Okay, but I could get that for just maybe a little over $2,000, which is a good number. And the guy's from I think he's from Idaho or Utah or something. So I have to order it and he'd ship it to me. But for that, I would have to sell like one of my guns. So one gun, maybe some parts, because money-wise, I spend a lot, and so I just can't justify getting that gun unless I get rid of a gun. So depending on what I get rid of, which will probably be, something that's okay, but I will be willing to get rid of it. Boy, it's traffic here. It's packed today. You must be giving away something for free. Look at that bridge. And I got to go over it, and I'm going to be tight and getting there. Wow, unbelievable. That is a lot of traffic. Look at that. Look at that. You can see the bridge. Jesus, cheaper creepers. I'll put you this way so you can see some of the scenery. But anyway, so when we go to it, you know, we wonder, you know, what do we buy? You know, what kind of 1911? Like I say, it just goes back to the whole scenario that you have to buy what you feel that, you know, you can afford, and what you feel which is what you want. But you never can really go wrong with a high-end gun. If you pay premium price what the gun costs, yeah, you probably could go wrong with that. If you pay what the gun, you know, is brand new, then chances are getting rid of it might be hard. You have to just find the right person that wants that particular gun with all those features. So I'm tempted to have a few options. I have an option to replace one of the guns I sold. I sold most of my Desert Eagles. I sold my Duelers, sold my Ed Brown, sold my ported Nighthawk Custom, sold my Super Grade, sold a few Desert Eagles, 5.7s. I sold a lot of guns. Now I'm slowly thinking about which guns I can, you know, rehabilitate myself and get back. So I wouldn't mind getting certain ones. I probably won't get all of my guns back because I don't really need them all. But I'm just trying to decide if I want to do all 1911s, you know, or, you know, I want to replace some of the guns that I sold and just like sporadically, spotty, basically get my guns. So I'm going to have to see. That will be, you know, a determining factor on what I get or what I don't. So when you get into 1911s, you tell me, you know, why. If you, I mean, is a high-end 1911 worth it, or would you prefer to get not a high-end 1911? I had pretty much all the top high-end 1911s, you know, and like I say, also let me know, should I just work on my 1911 collection? And, you know, I know for sure I could get a Wilson Combat, okay? I could get that, come here hopefully like next Tuesday, I could have it in my possession. A bobtail professional 1911. Bee-blasted stainless steel, recessed slide stop, has the gold bead dot with the rear combat, non-adjustable sights, checkered in the front and back of the mag wall, bobtailed with the nice black, I think they're G10 black Wilson Combat grips, never fired, fluted barrel, reverse crowned on the front, fluted barrel. Got a lot of options on it. It's a nice little gun. And then one side, there's, I don't even think it has slide. I don't think it has any markings on one side. They're all emitted, so it's all flat on one side. I kind of like that, and I don't. I kind of always like the name of the manufacturer, so, you know, I could send that gun back and get a few things that maybe put the ambi slide safety in there. I could polish the flats on the gun, and if I wanted to, I could engrave some cursive script writing on one side. So, you know, maybe I would engrave it to say professional on one side. Real nice. And the guy's got Wilson Combat on the frame, but I'd probably take that off and put it on the slide. So, you know, maybe a few little things that I would do. But man, this traffic is going like a friggin', like somebody died. And of course, it's going to make me late for my appointment, which sucks. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. But, you know, I wanted to bring that up, and I am in, you really can't see much because you're looking at the friggin' trees here, traffic, so it's moving. This is coming up on Bird Key Cove, and then Longboat Key is just beyond this. Pretty crappy. What I'll do is just start another video when traffic starts moving here in Longboat Key, because you probably just don't want to look at cars. I'm sure you'd rather be moving. But yeah, so I guess that's the main thing we got to think about, like when you get into the higher end guns, and this is higher end guns of all types. You know, what floats your boat in it, you know. Wilson Combat's probably the top of the line. Nighthawk Custom is top of the line too, so it just depends. If you want your stuff right away and you want bobtailed and you want some features that, you know, Wilson Combat just doesn't have, then you're going to probably want a Nighthawk Custom, because more and more manufacturers are trying to become their own branding. Branding mean that, you know, you're going to get a gun and it's only going to be like, you know, try to like have blended mag wells, or they have like a slightly contoured mag well and stuff like that. With Wilson Combat, they have their, I can't remember what it's called. It's not a blended mag well. It's got another name. It's not a bobtail, because they don't do bobtailed guns anymore. Probably because of branding. You know, they don't want to be, you know, have it like say on their friggin' bobtailed and brown bobtail, because, you know, it's copyrighted by them, so they don't want to have that. But thanks a lot, and let me know what you think. And this is just about high-end guns, I guess you'd want to say it, because you can refer this to everything. I mean, you could spend $1 million for a gun if you had the cash. You could spend $1 million for a car. It just depends. It really depends on the individual, I guess, a lot. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and I'll be in this dead-ass traffic jam here for at least another probably 10 minutes. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.